because as it stands, USA, they are no joke at all. They come up against you, they take you to the cleaner, they don't waste time, they don't even try to even give you any room at all. So for me, we need to go back and start planning on how we are going to adopt a certain strategy that is going to counter their own approach, so that at least we can be able to make headway. If not, I tell you, it's going to be a total bashing against the D Tigers, you know, because me, like I said, I always want to be realistic. The truth is that USA is not an easy opponent. We might be saying, yes, let us go with the spirit of Nigeria with us, this and that, but then I tell you, when push comes to shove, can we actually stand the true test of facing USA? So it's a big question, but I tell you, nothing is unachievable in the world of sport. So long as sport is concerned, everything is possible. But then sometimes you just have to take a look at the reality, you know, and try to balance the equation. But I believe that if Ren and Wakama go back to the drawing board, get the clips of USA, you know, games, their recent game, watch it over and over again. Try to capitalize on some loopholes where we can be able to find, you know, confidence and punish them. If not, I tell you, if we just go out there with the, you know, excitement that we've beaten Australia and Canada, and we came out of the group playing 3 games, winning 2. I tell you, if we go out there with such a, you know, confidence, it might turn back to hurt us. I just think that we need to just do our own homework and believing that God with us, with our effort as well, because we can't take away the G factor in it. Of course, you know, Nigeria, we are very religious. God helping us, we might just go through.
I tell you, a victory for the D Tigers will mean a whole lot for them, not solely the D Tigers, for Nigeria and for Africa as well as a whole, because I think that the first, you know, African side that have gotten to the quarterfinals in the Olympic Games, and it's a very huge record, of course, to say. And we'll keep our fingers crossed. Wednesday is the D-Day. Can the D Tigers get past the United States of America female basketball team? We'll see how that one will go. Away from that, Nigerian sprinter Femi fired a warning at other contenders in the women's 200 meters at the ongoing Paris 24 Olympics after winning her heat with a new season best of 32.24 seconds over the weekend. Femi puts out the disappointment of missing the women's 100 meters behind her to make a memorable Olympic debut, beating Great Britain's Dina Asher-Smith in heat 6. Her season best of 32.34 seconds was also the second fastest time in the heat behind Gabby Thomas of the United States, who ran 32.20 seconds in a post-race chat with newsman. The 21-year-old looked beyond the semi-finals and spoke confidently about outracing all contenders to the gold medal. This is a huge mindset, you will see, from Femi.
True. After the disappointment of not being enrolled or enlisted in the 100-meter, you know, event out there, I think naturally you expect her to come into this 200-meter with a very down mentality, owing to the fact that I think her aspiration was denied from the fact that she did not take part in the 100-meter, and that naturally would have, you know, broken her down mentally. But then she overcame such disappointment to deliver at the highest stage when it matters most. I mean, that is why we keep talking about the spirit of Nigeria. Sometimes you just need to do the needful. Despite the challenges and obstacles, you just need to find strength somewhere, somehow.
She's trying to prove to, you know, perhaps their critics or maybe the Athletic Federation of Nigeria or the Nigerian Olympic Committee. Yeah,
because her display will clearly tell you that we missed her in the 100-meter race, because who knows what she should have done in the 100-meter. But then I think she has been able to put that behind her right now. Not that the matter is done and done, because I tell you, after the Olympic game, this matter will still reverberate. We still come up to the front burner. Of course, you know, the Minister of Sport has already constituted a commission of inquiry to pray into that matter. Definitely after the Paris Olympic game, we need to go back and begin to take a total appraisal of our performance so far. But then, like I said, she was able to put that disappointment behind her to at least look for what lies ahead of her, and she was able to go through in that 200-meter. Let's hope that she can continue to build on this confidence going forward. But I tell you, it's going to be a very difficult one, because the next stage, she's going to be paired. She has been paired against a very strong opponent as well. But then, who says she cannot do it? If she can, also do this in the 200 meters, I still believe that she has what it takes as well to go further.
With the withdrawal of Jamaica's Sherika Jackson, Ophelis posed for a podium finish in the event, but she still has the new 100 meters champion Julian Alfred, Thomas, and other top athletes to contend with. She will be back on track later on to, of course, see how she can get this one, of course, for herself. But we have to move on as we take a look at other performance for Team Nigeria. Nigeria's duo Kenyisola Giant Favour, she fell short of the qualifying spot in the men's 100 meters semi-final of the Paris 2024 Olympic games yesterday, with both men finishing sixth in their respective races. Michael, what do you make of it? We saw how intense the 100 meters meter race was, with the likes of Noah Lyles, taking up that particular but for our guys, they couldn't even make it down to the finals.
Nothing come out that we say in our local balance here. Not a good one at all. Of course, you take a look at the the quality of opponent that they came up against. Very strong. Was a star-studded one, and to tell you how difficult and how strong it is, about the first and second person that finished, you saw how keenly contested they've had to fight before we could actually saw the first person out.
If they were there, where would it have been? That's the question.
It's a big question, but then I think for me, it's a very difficult one as it stands right now. Taking a look at the timing of their opponent out there, you want to say yes. I think there was a golfing class between them. Taking a look at the timing out there, it wasn't just a good outing for us at all. Even as we continue to wait to see if we can be able to register our name in the medals log.
And talking about the 100 meters final, world champion Noah Lyles rode to victory in 9.79 seconds to claim gold in the dramatic men's Olympic 100 meters final in Paris. Over the weekend, Lyles won the closest Olympic 100 meters finish in modern history. Just 5 thousandths of a second separated him from Jamaica's Keishan Thompson, who clocked the same time of 9.79 seconds. It made Lyles the first American, male or female, to win the event since Justin Catlin took gold in 2004 Athens Games. His U.S. teammate Fred Kelly took bronze in 9.81 seconds, just 100 ahead of South African Akani Simbin, who timed 9.82 seconds in that particular one. But let's move on as we take a look at other matters revolving around the Olympic. As Adelko Wando shows lots of gallantry and gusto in hit 6 of Paris 2004 Olympic women's 50 meters freestyle events held over the weekend. The 16-year-old finished second in the time of 26.62 seconds behind Elizaveta, who won the race in time of 26.26 seconds. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it to the next round, as her return time was 0.36 seconds short of required mark, which end here in Paris 2024 Olympics. Michael, what do you make of it? I think there were 2 swimmers for Team Nigeria, and I think 2 of them as well has been ousted out. I think the order was Toby Suade. Both, of course, they've been ousted out from the swimming events.
Yeah, not a good one. But then I think there's some positive to take home from Adako. Taking a look at the fact that she's still just 16 years old, a teenager, you may want to say.
She has more time.
She has more time. I mean, if you take a look at her age right now at 16, you may want to say that she still have about 4 Olympic Games to attend. So for me, there is room for improvement. And one thing is that she has been able to even choose representing Nigeria instead of Chinese, because she has a Chinese mother with a Nigerian father. There are some athletes that, taking a look at what is happening within our sports sector, most of them wouldn't even want to pick up their fatherlands to represent them. They would rather choose other foreign countries out there. But then I think she was able to at least pick her fatherland ahead of Chinese, and she did pretty well. This is her first time in the Olympic game at 16. We want to say the age and experience is not there. Yeah, a good way for her and for her career, but then going forward, there's a whole lot of positive to take home. If she continues to train hard, you know, the way she's going, maybe in the next 4 years, possibly she might just, you know, get to win, you know, a laurels. But for now, I think her timing wasn't good enough. But generally, it is not a bad outing for her.
Not a bad outing. We'll keep our fingers crossed and see how far, of course, she will go in her career. But in today's event, Nathaniel became the third Nigeria to reach 400 meters hurdle Olympic semi-final. Ezekiel Nathaniel has become the third Nigerian athlete to reach the semi-final for the 400 meters hurdle at the Olympics, achieving this feat at the Paris 24 Olympic Games. The 21-year-old today secured his spot by finishing second in heat 4 with a time of 4:8.32 seconds, earning an automatic qualification. Nathaniel's impressive performance marks the fourth fastest time he has run in the 400 meters hurdle, demonstrating his current form. He is the first Nigerian athlete to reach the semi-finals of this event in 12 years, following in the footsteps of Amechi Morton at London 2012 and the legendary Henry Ameke at Los Angeles 1984. Hard luck in 400. Okay, away from that, I also saw other events as well. But before we take a look at, you know, other events today for Team Nigeria, Michael, what do you make of this one? Impressive one in the 400 meters, and he's into the semi-final, putting up some record for himself as well.
Impressive display from him at the finishing second, also creating record, putting himself on the annal of history as well, becoming the third Nigeria to make it through after the 1984 and 12 years ago when an athlete, Morton, also did that. I think for me, it was an impressive show for him, but then a lot he still needs to improve if he truly want to get something positive out of this year's Paris Olympic game. He need to also improve on his timing so that at least in the next round we can be rest assured maybe of being able to win at least gold, silver, or even any medal at all. Because after this hard effort, it would be good for him to cap it up, you know, with something, you know, to show for his hard effort, maybe more like a silverware. If we can truly say yes, I think he has hit that, you know, expectation. But I tell you, it is not a bad one for Ezekiel at all.
Not a bad one for Ezekiel. We hope, of course, he gets something huge in this one. 400 meters, I tell you, 400 meters hurdle, not really as easy one. We hope he'll be able to get far. Ella and Esther Elo Joseph will return for the repechage round tomorrow, aiming to secure a place in the semi-final. Ella finished 6th in heat 3 of the women's 400 meters, while Elo Joseph finished 7th, I beg your pardon, in her heats. Bahrain's Waed Nassau dominated heat 1 of the women's 400 meters, winning in 49.91 seconds. Jamaica's Tessie Ann Williams finished 2nd, and Romania's Andrew Miklos achieved a new personal best. Ireland Brasidat Adeleke impressed in hit 6, winning easily and demonstrating a medal prospects. Both athletes are of Nigerian heritage. That's one. And still talking about event for Team Nigeria today, Nigeria's Chidi Okize did not progress to the semi-finals of the men's 400 meters, finishing 5th in the second heat of the repechage round with his individual chase for glory now over. He will have time to recover and will play a crucial role in Nigeria's men 4x400 meters team. Only the 18-year-old Samuel Okazi has booked a place for Nigeria in the 400 meters semi-final event. And still talking about today's event for Team Nigeria, was really an impressive performance for Nigeria's Blessing Obododo. She has booked her place in the semi-finals of the women's wrestling. That's in the 68 kg events at the ongoing Paris 24 Olympic Games. The powerful Nigerian wrestler who won the silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics Games defeated Canada's Linda Morris 8-2 in their quarterfinal match today. Michael, what do you make of this feat? Another medal, of course, down there for the lady, Blessing Oboro-Dodo, she's in the semi-final. She stands a chance of getting a medal for herself once again.
True. I think it's more like a replica of what we saw her did at the last Olympic game. I think it's one reliable hand that you can actually for the game out there. She has been able to put the country's name on the world map, ever since her career blossomed. For Blessing Oboro-Dodo, any day, anytime, you can also always rely on her. Taking a look at the way she was able to finish her opponent clinically 8-2, very convincing win. So for me, let's hope that he even does better by even surpassing the semi-final stage and go for the gold.
Tonight, of course, she'll be in action in the semi-final clash, and we'll see how far, of course, she'll be able to go down there. But tonight as well, we'll see Udodi Chidi Wazirike. He will be in action in the men's 200 meters heats, and that event comes up by 6:55 p.m. Tonight. So keep our fingers crossed and see how Team Nigeria will perform in that one. But at this point, we'll take a short break. When we'll come back from the break, we'll bring you Welcome back. Steve Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. Of course, we'll bring you the latest revolving around the world, but especially the Paris 34 Olympic Games. And Mother Micah is there together. We're doing justice to some of the happenings down there in Paris. Still talking about the Olympic game, Novak Djokovic beat Carlos Alcaraz in thrilling fashion to secure a long-awaited Olympic title and completes the career Golden Slam. Djokovic, who has won a men's record 24 majors and swept up every title there is in tennis, finally clinched Olympic gold at his 5th games. The Serbian, who is 37 years, puts in his best performance of the year to beat a French Open and Wimbledon champion Alcaraz 7-6, 7-6 in front of a packed crowd in Paris. Michael, what do you make of this feat once again for the man Novak Djokovic?
I think his quest to get an Olympic medal actually paid off, because the man Novak Djokovic,
his appearance in the Olympic Games?
Yeah.
Yes, he has gone before this was a bronze medal.
Yes. He has actually broken that jinx of not winning an Olympic medal. I think he's won everything that needed to be won in the world of lawn tennis, but that Olympic medal was the only trophy that has eluded him, and that is why he was very, very passionate, and you saw him breaking down in tears shortly after he clinched that victory against Carlos Alcaraz, throwing away his racket to embrace the young Alcaraz, also weeping out there. He clearly tells you of the joy and happiness, that he derived after completing the Golden Slam. I mean, more like being in the shoe of the likes of Stevie Graf, the likes of Andy Murray, and the rest of them, Serena Williams out there. So for me, what an impressive way to complete a Golden Slam for a player that have not been, what to say, has not been at the best of form so far this season, because he hasn't gotten to any major final so far this season. Neither has he won any, major trophy. Coming into this year's Paris Olympic game, not too many people even gave him a chance of even getting to the final. But then he was able to prove so many bookmakers wrong, and he was able to make this one count for him. And even if he decides to call it quit at this point, he has fulfilled his lifelong dream of, winning an Olympic medal. One of the greatest in the game, any day, anytime. I mean, this man needs to be studied in the University of Cambridge. Taking a look at his performance so far, one man that never gives up, even when you think that it is not going for him, but then he still continues to push to be able to achieve his dream. And finally, he finally lay hand on his dream. Though it wasn't an easy one, because we saw a very close fight where Carlos Alcaraz also, actually pushed him down to the wall before he was able to emerge victorious in that very one. Big congratulations for the big man himself, talking about Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic is just the 5th player to win the Golden Slam in singles, all 4 majors, and the Olympic title, after Rafa Nadal, Serena Williams, Andre Agassi, and Steffi Graf. It was an incredible fight, and of course was really an impressive one for the man against Carlos Alcaraz. Let's quickly stay away from that now as we take a look at other matters in the Olympic, as Zheng Qinwen beats Donna Vekic in straight set to win Olympic women's single gold for China in Paris. Zheng, who lost in the Australian Open final in January, was a 6-2, 6-3 winner on court Philippe Chatel at Roland Garros. Vekic, who's 38 years, was appearing in the gold medal match less than a month after narrowly missing out on the Wimbledon final, losing her semi-final to Jasmine Paolini in a deciding set. Tie break in that one. Zheng was cited. She made a history this time around in Paris. Michael, what do you make of it? The Chinese player, talking about Zheng, putting up an impressive performance this time.
The Chinese, they're also, pushing from all fronts, and no longer, to be reckoned with just only on table tennis alone, where you will want to say, yes, they have, great strength in that angle, where they've dominated table tennis event for a couple of years right now, but they are taking it much higher, taking it down to long tennis out there, making their presence felt out there. And for Zheng, I think it was an impressive one for Very, very good player any day, any time. But coming into this year's Paris Olympic game, not too many people expected her to at least win this one, but it is what it is. That is what you get when you've actually worked hard and show seriousness over other opponents out there. China, their performance so far in this year's Paris Olympic game is something that we need to even pay close attention, because you take a look at the medal slug right now, they are also making their presence felt. Generally, talk about the Asian countries, they are doing pretty well. Also doing well, not just in table tennis, like I said earlier, but in long tennis as well. Big congratulations for Zheng.
Big congratulations, of course, for Zheng. And taking a look at the medal table as it is for Africa, South Africa stay top with 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze. 4 medals for South Africa. Algeria second with just 1 gold, and that's just the only medal Algeria has won. Uganda third with just 1 gold, and that's the only medal they've also won. And Tunisia, they are fourth with 1 silver, and that's the only medal they've won. Egypt are fifth with just 1 bronze. That's the only medal Egypt have they've won as well. For Nigeria, they've not won any medal in the Olympic Games. But Michael, what do you make of the medal table for Africa?
Not impressive one for me, despite the fact that the likes of South Africa, Egypt and Tunisia, even Zambia have also registered 1 or 2 medals out there in the table, but not an impressive one. Aggregate all the medals that African team has won. It's not even a quarter of what the Chinese has won as a country. But if you aggregate all that African continent has won, it's not a quarter of what the Chinese alone has won. And that is how poor and that is how bad it is for African continent in this year's Olympic game. And for me, I'm not a happy man. I won't say, yes, let us commend South Africa just because they have 1 goal. No, is 1 goal good enough for a country such as South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, you know, not to even talk about Nigeria.
Yeah, apart from South Africa, the rest of the countries are just with 1 medal.
One medal. And that is how bad it is. So for me, there's nothing to commend Team Africa, in quotes, for, because it is below expectation.
Below expectation, of course, you say. But talking about the medal table for the world, China, just like you mentioned down there, Michael, stay top with 21 gold medal, 17 silver, 14 bronze. A total of 52 medals for China. USA are second with 19 gold, 29 silver, 27 bronze. A total of 75 medals for the United States of America. And for Australia, they are third with 13 gold, 11 silver, 8 bronze medals. A total of 32 medals for Australia. France are fourth with 12 gold, 15 silver, and as well 18 bronze medals. A total of 45 medals for France. South Korea are fifth with 11 gold, 8 silver, 7 bronze. A total of 26 medals for South Korea down there. China, of course, still maintaining their momentum on the medal slug.
Sure, and they continue to ride on very high out there. By now, you expected the United States of America or even Canada to be topping the medal slug, but they are trying to play the catch-up game right now with China and the rest of the country that is doing pretty well. And that is why I said earlier that it looks as though the Asian countries, they are also improving in different areas of their sport, and that is why we are seeing them amassing a whole lot of medals. It's not surprising. For a country like China, they are taking about 380-something athletes to this year's Paris Olympic game. Talk about a country like United States of America, about 500 and something athletes. Talk about France, about 300 and something athletes. But Nigeria, just 87. You know, so for me, the disparity is quite clear. And take a look at the Asian country, the likes of Japan, South Korea, China. They are all within the 10th on the log out there. That is how you get to see teams that are improving, because they find themselves within 10th position within the medal slug, and that is how you see a continent that is improving. But here, I mean, it's quite disappointing for me, to say the least. I'm totally disappointed with the outing. This is the how many in the Olympic game, yet Africa, the 10, yet Africa, we have not been able to win 5 gold medals. The whole of
will be coming
Africa
to an end this weekend.
This weekend, and put Africa as a whole. We have not been able to win 10 medals. I mean 10 gold medals. 10 is even 2-5. Put all of them. We are yet to even win 5. Africa as a whole. Whereas one country, China, is recording 21 gold medals. 21. And put all Africa together, we are yet to win just 5. I mean, it's quite disappointing.
Very, very disappointing, of course, you will say. All right, that's what we can bring to you about the Olympic Games this evening. But Michael, breaking news today, Emmanuel Amunike, now the coach of Heartland FC. We understand that Heartland, they actually got the slot of Beyond Limit, and they paid about 350 million to get that particular slots. What do you make of it, Emmanuel Amunike, to the Nigerian Premier Football League?
He's welcome. I mean, this is his home. I think he should understand the Nigerian system better. He has traversed all Africa and some other country for his coaching experience. Coming back home, I think it's going to be a good one. But my worry is, can Heartland allow him, give him the free hand to operate? Because we saw the political interference, for Heartland last season, where they continued to battle until they went down to relegation. Brought in Kennedy Boboye at some point to salvage the situation. Kennedy Boboye came in, tried to salvage the situation, played 7 games, won 3, lost 2, draw 1. Before he could say Jack, they let him go, bringing their former coach who continued to churn out bad results until they went to relegation. So can he be given free chance without any political interference to carry out his job? It's a big question, because if they don't allow him to operate the way he wants to independently as a coach, it's going to be another problem when a governor of a state will wake up one day and begin to dish instructions to football administrators, begin to wonder. So for me, that is the only challenge I'm seeing. But then, if they have learned from their last lesson, it's going to serve them better. If not, their inability to learn from their past mistake, coughing out a sum of 350 million. This should have been avoided.
True.
This money should have been used for, do you know how many mini stadium that this money would have built? It would have even helped them to renovate and refurbish their stadium to a standard that would be, CAF approved. 350 million, not a small change. So for me, if they can always allow him to, carry out his duty professionally without any interference, it's going to be good for Heartland. But if they don't, then I don't see them making any headway come next season. But then for Amunike, he's a very good coach. Like I said, he has eye for young talent. He knows how to be able to put teams together and get a positive result. Of course, he has also improved in his coaching CV as well. Let's hope that he's going to bring the wealth of experience to bear for this Heartland team. But I tell you, it's going to be a difficult one, because he's going to start from a scratch. I learned that Heartland, they have laid off most of their key players. Some of their key players, immediately they got relegated, trying to pull out from the club, try to look for, elsewhere. So it's going to be more like a rebuilding process for Emmanuel Amunike, and the season will kickstart very soon. How well he can be able to rebuild this team and get a positive result in the upcoming season still remain a big question.
But why the MPFL? Emmanuel Amunike is how I don't know where to classify him or grade him at this point in time, but we understand the man has done a lot. We saw him with the Tanzania side at some points. For him to have gotten maybe a better club in a better league than the Nigeria Premier Football League. Why settling? Do you think he has brought himself so low in settling for Heartland FC?
For me, I do not think so. You see, we are talking about we contributing our own quota to see that our league improve and grows. How do you contribute your own quota? So you think
he's coming in to make sure the league improve? Or
of course.
Is that the reason?
This is another way of him adding, contributing his own quota into the league, by coming to the league. And then again, I'm just thinking he's also tried to use this to at least tell NFF that indeed he's a homegrown coach to the core.
Don't you think he's trying to use this to at least, boost his CV and as them, show the world what he's made up of. Because he's been there for a very long time. No club came for him.
That is what I'm saying. And it could also be a very good way for him to showcase what he can do to the NFF. Now that he look as though getting a good coach, homegrown coach for the Super Eagles is a big problem. So maybe if you get to do well with this Heartland side, then I tell you, NFF will definitely look in his direction a few years to come. You know how NFF run their things. They will still run around a circle and still come back to look for him if he get to do well. Then again, he's adding more quality to the Nigerian Premier Football League, because having garnered all this experience, coming back home right now to settle down with Heartland, I think he will feel at home to deliver. And so for me, it's a good platform for him to market himself, not just to the NFF, but to other clubs out there. We understand some of our coaches.
Is a very good platform for marketing.
Yes, some of our coaches is even going to Gabon here to coach. Benin Republic, Rwanda. Some of our coaches here, even as our players are also moving to some of these leagues, our coaches as well are moving as well. So it is a good platform for him to market, himself. Because I tell you, about 3 coaches that hails from this Nigerian Premier Football League have journeyed to our neighboring countries out there, also including our players, NPFL players also moving. So I think for me, it will be a good platform for him to sell himself, like I said earlier, not just to the NFF, but to other.
NPFL is on TV.
Exactly. NPFL is on TV. That is another advantage. And we have been watched across the globe by about 240-something countries. That is how beautiful it is. And we've seen the improvement of the Benga Elegbeleye ball last season. If there's anything to go by, if you can build on that improvement, I tell you, it's going to be a good one.
And of course, we're seeing top coaches in the Nigerian Premier Football League this time. Finidi George is now at Rivers United. Also got to report that Imam Mapakabo is now with Abia Warriors. Usman Adela came back, to Kano Pillars, as well. And now we're having Emmanuel Abunike, for talking about Heartland FC. Ilechuku is also there at Enugu Rangers. So it's going to be an interesting season, Michael.
Kennedy Boboye is very much. So it's going to be an interesting season for the Nigerian Premier Football League, and that is what we are.
And this is a time that Amunike should Finidi George that he's better than you.
Exactly. Maybe it's a very good platform for them to settle their scores as well. But we are waiting to see what comes up for this. But one thing is very certain, that Nigerian Premier Football League come next season is going to be on fire. Taking a look at the quality of coaches that is still very much around in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and we are going to have a very healthy rivalries, because some of these coaches, they want to outmaneuver each other to at least to tell the world, yes, I'm better than you. Like now, you saw the beautiful work that Fidelis Ilechuku did, and no many coaches will feel challenged in the coming season to also give him a run for his money.
Tough one.
Exactly. Finidi George assistant has just been made a substantive coach of Enyimba, so he might be meeting his master.
And he's in the UK, training, getting himself ready.
Exactly. So he will be meeting his master, talking about Finidi George on the touchline against Rivers. So it looks very exciting. We can't wait for the league to kick off.
All right, let's take a look at some preseason game. Chelsea were beaten by Manchester City 4-2 in that one. Michael, if you take a look at it, the result has not really gone in favor of Chelsea in the preseason. But Enzo Maresca is rebuilding process at Chelsea. What is your assessment so far?
Well, I think he's taking it step by step, try to take away some of the things that he thinks is not good with his team, and that is why he's letting some players go. Understand less of Conor Gallagher is also leaving, and some other players as well. So I think the rebuilding process is gradual. I've actually taken time to watch his training session for the Chelsea Football Club and some of the friendly games that he's played so far. I think he's taking it gradually, trying to pass his philosophy and pattern of playing to these players. And I believe before the season started, they might have been able to adjust to his own pattern of play.
And of course, talking about Liverpool, they were able to get past Manchester United over the weekend. And Barcelona, of course, beating Real Madrid in a friendly Clasico, to say 2-0. It ended in that one.
Yeah, we want to say yes, it's just a friendly game, but it is also the El Clasico. You know, they have this great history of eternal rivals among Madrid and the Catalan club, talking about Barcelona. I think it's a good one, a good way for Hansi Flick to at least register his first win in the El Clasico, you know, game, though it is a friendly. Madrid have lost 2 games right now, one to AC Milan and one to Barcelona, but then, you know, it is not a true test of how things is going to pan out when the season officially kicks off.
All right, so we understand that Chelsea remain keen on signing Victor Osimhen from Napoli as the London club continues their search for a quality striker in the summer transfer markets ahead of the new season. Keep our fingers crossed, and of course we'll bring you this one depending on how it's developed. But Chelsea really interested in Victor Osimhen. We'll see how that one will go. But Michael, we have a quality wrap on the show this evening. Really been an impressive time.
Yeah, it's always a good time, you know, doing this with you.
All right, don't forget, we can't go without telling you who our sport extraordinaire is. No other than the man Novak Djokovic. Of course, he won his first Olympic gold medal in his fifth appearance this time in the Paris Olympic game. Was really an impressive one. Of course, he is the 5th tennis player to achieve the Golden Slam, and interesting one you will say. With that, he is our sport extraordinaire on today's edition of the show. We'll be back tomorrow by 7 a.m. for Sports Talk. Do us to join us, as it promises to be an exciting time talking sport once again on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kinsley Manuel. Thanks for watching.